be at home. And this week we are focusing on the sport of disc golf. So I am here at my local disc golf course, and a little bit of background for me, I fell in love with disc golf in college. Going to Slippery Rock University, Moraine State Park has a really fabulous disc golf course. In fact, about 2 months ago this summer, they had the professionals go to Moraine to compete at their disc golf course, which is really cool. So let's get right into this and go over the fundamentals of throwing a disc. So I have my discs right here, as you can see. I have a driver, so a distance driver, which you would throw from the driver. I have a mid-range disc, which you throw usually your second shot when you get a little bit closer to the cage. And then I have my putter here, which you would throw when you're super close to the cage. Another really cool thing about disc golf is the fact that it's completely free. You never have to book a time to go. You can go anytime you want. Mingo Creek has a disc golf course, and right by California University of Pennsylvania, the university, I believe there's also a disc golf course there. So those are some local spots that you can go, get out there, get excited about it, and give it a try. So I'm going to throw at this cage down here. I have my distance driver, and when I throw the disc, talking about fundamentals, I don't want to wrap the disc back around my body. So for a backhand shot, you want to bring your arm straight back and straight through in a straight line. I don't want to wrap the disc around my back when I go to throw, because that can strain my arm. All the power is coming from my legs, my lower body. Most of the weight's going to be on my back foot. Okay, so again, power's from lower body. Straight back. As I come across and it gets past my hip, that's when I snap my wrist and follow through. And the disc is going to be a little bit lower than my shoulder. Alright, to hold the frisbee or the disc, what you're going to want to do in your dominant hand, I am right hand dominant, so I'm going to hold the disc with my right hand. I'm going to actually put it in the center of my palm like I'm shaking hands with the disc. Then I'm going to wrap my 4 fingers and hold underneath the disc, and my thumb is going to rest and put pressure on the top of the disc. And this should allow, when you release, a nice spin on the disc and nice flat throw. Shots that I drove are pretty close to the cage, so we're going to talk a little bit about putt and approach and how to angle your body whenever you are aiming at the target. So I'm going to get out my putter, and putting's a little bit different. When you use a driver or a mid-range, you want to square your shoulder to the target, so your hips will actually be square in this direction. Shoulder, front hip towards the target. Now a putt is a little bit different. So I would go up to my disc, and I'm actually going to turn and rotate my hips square to the target for a putt. Again, I'm going to wrap my 4 fingers around the disc, thumb on top, and I want to keep my arm nice and level aiming at the target. So for a putt, keeping my arm a little bit lower than my shoulder, I'm bringing it towards my belly button, and I'm going to snap my wrist and follow through. And there you go. All right, so again, get out there, be excited, have fun, give disc golf a try. It's an awesome sport to be a part of. We love it. My husband and I play every single week. All right, so we just got to the 3rd hole on our course that we're at today. And another tip that I wanted to mention is it's all about your form, how you're throwing the disc. It's called biomechanics. If you can really focus on the tips I was talking about in regards to how you throw the disc, you can generate power with your throw. It's going to take a lot of practicing, but it doesn't matter your size. If you're small or petite like me, you can still get some distance behind your throws. So I talked a little bit about the backhand shot. Backhand shots generally will curve left. Forehand shots, which I'm going to throw now where I stay on this side of my body, will generally cause the disc to curve to your right. So let's see a forehand drive here, where instead of pulling it back this way, that's called a backhand, I'm going to rotate my body, still keeping the front shoulder in line with the cage, which is straight ahead, pretty far away. I'm going to throw a backhand shot. I do want to keep the disc below my shoulder, and I want to be nice and level when I throw the disc at my target. And watch the disc fly. See if you can see it curving to the right. So here we go. I'm going to transfer the weight from my back leg to my front leg, trying to use the power of my legs to get the disc to fly. So this is why we have Gus. I actually curved it too far to the right, and it's down in the woods, so my dog went and marked the disc for me, so I know exactly where it's at. So it did hit that tree there. That's another challenge with disc golf, is you got to watch out for the trees. Had it not, it would have curved to the right and landed perfectly center in the course. But that's why disc golf is fun, because it's quite challenging. Let's talk a little bit about scoring in disc golf and the object of the game. The object of the game is to get the least amount of throws possible. So an ace would be if you get a hole-in-one, and that would be the ideal shot, making it on your first throw. So if, let's say for example, that this page, hole number 1, is a par 3. So par means that you get it in the amount of shots that each hole dictates that you need in order to get a par. So if this was a par 3 and I make it in 3 shots, then I would have reached par. If I do better and I make it in 2 shots, that would be considered a birdie. So a birdie is 1 under par. An eagle would be 2 under par. A bogey would be 1 over par. So if this is a par 3 and I made it in 4 shots, that would be called a bogey. So that's a little bit about scoring in disc golf. Alright, boys and girls, we're in my backyard now, and what we're going to do is the 1-minute disc golf challenge. So how many shots can you make into either a basket like Mrs. Koebler has? If you don't have a basket, you could use a box. We ordered something on Amazon. So you could use a box for your target. If you do not have a Frisbee at home, I took 2 paper plates. I put them together and put tape on them. So you can also use paper plates as your Frisbee. So the basket is about 7 steps away from my shooting line, and I just used a stick as the shooting line that I will throw behind. And again, how many can you make in 1 minute? It's you against me. So we have a timer. He's going to put 1 minute on the clock. Make sure you shoot from behind the shooting line. You'll retrieve your Frisbee after each shot for the disc golf challenge. So here we go. Whenever you give me the clue to start.
And go.
Mrs. Koebler had 2 points. See if you can beat me. Have fun with it. Catch you soon.